You are struck by her impartiality, to life, to death, to rancour, to filth, to all, to transformation. She seems unperplexed by impossibility, accepting what is, not seeking to understand. She allows what is to be. But how, you demand of the flying broomstick and the infinite milk jug? She responds with a twinkle. Must you seek to understand? Your challenge is not of the mind, it is of the heart. Your challenge is acceptance, an acceptance of what is. That is all there is, cosmic clarity. What else matters? You can't argue, and so you fall silent, observing her stir her cauldron, transfixed by the swirling patterns of the liquid. You begin to relax in her presence. An unfurling process, a latent power blossoming. Curiosity silences your demands of rationality, logic, and sense. Her power is undeniable, and so you resolve to listen and observe her ways. After some time, the witch speaks. What do you know? You flounder. You are not expecting the question. You run through possible responses, your name, your philosophical position, your personal history. Finally, you reply, nothing. The witch nods, unsmiling. You intuit you have answered correctly. She begins to speak slowly and purposefully, disjointed in her statements of position, but over time you accustom yourself to her circuitous logic, the spiraling thread of truth. You know we were burned. You agree you do know that. People feared you, you venture. No, they feared themselves. She raises her eyes to meet yours, and your insides turn to liquid. She sees into you, knows you intimately. Visceral fear pierces your heart. Your mind races. How dare she, you rage internally. How dare she look at me so directly? Has she no respect? Does she not know how gruesome she is, how hideous? The witch does not look away. Her gaze is confirmatory. You are shocked by the ugliness of your thoughts, for you value kindness, acceptance, and empathy. You avert your gaze, ashamed. Her gaze shifts back to her cauldron, and she begins to stir again, her ladle cycling endlessly. You heed the message and continue to listen, aware now of the viciousness of your own nature. The witch has an unnerving air of solidity. She is of the skies, animal kingdom, and spirit world, yet she seems more present and alive than your own self, breathing in all that is and exhaling misperceptions, distortions, and impurity, cleansing herself with every breath in a state of permanent purification. Perceptively present, she is able to intuit subtle differences in her surroundings. You become conscious of a jitter, your leg rattling with impatience. Had she noticed? Of course she did. She noticed before you. She inhales deeply, fanning the steam from the cauldron into her flared nostrils. You are curious about my powers of perception, she says softly. You nod, admittedly fascinated. I breathe in many aspects of myself collected in this cauldron. Many moons spent hunting and gathering and sorting and sifting and storing and labeling lost parts of myself, until the time came to stir. I stir now, distilling myself, my very essence. I breathe myself, I take her in, I exhale her until I am left with but a drop. Quintessence. It is alchemy. Would you like to see? It's hard to articulate your experience within the witch's hut, but you remember the cauldron. You remember gazing into what appeared initially as a void, but transformed into a vortex, swirling, spiraling, sucking your soul inside, spinning, pinwheeling, delirious. All is now. You must draw yourself out, gathering your pieces back inside until you feel a sense of wholeness. This process of togetherness takes time. You do an internal stocktake. She is patient as you stitch yourself back together, ensuring all parts are where they should be. Having never given much thought to the location of your center, it takes a moment to locate it before you can truly rebuild. Comfortable and safe, you allow yourself time to stitch carefully, neatly, the patchwork of yourself. A design you feel is pleasant upon completion, and you are proud of your thorough handiwork. The witch nods, satisfied. You enjoy the newfound freedom from tight stitching and lay back more comfortably in her chair of carved bone and wood. There is a brightness in the room you hadn't noticed. A softness is in the light. You look around, eager to locate the source of the glow. Not immediately apparent, you conclude it had always been there. You know we were burned. Does she know she's repeating herself? Perhaps she really is mad. Your mind begins to stir, restless and impatient. A piece of yourself flies out from your heart, and it's all you can do to stop yourself reaching out to catch it. You accept the pang of frustration and settle back into wakeful attention. The peace returns to your heart. We were taken long before the flames touched us. If only they knew, the truth was right there before them. What they sought was not to burn, scold, or scald, but to verify a truth, to bear witness to an internal strength more powerful than pain and flame. But the body is fragile, it cannot bear flame nor flood. The body is not us. Had they seen, had they listened, they would have understood. We had already taken flight, not away, but within. You are crying. You know we were burned. This time the repetition of the phrase soothes you, causing you to settle. A child awaiting a fairy tale. Thrown into terror, and what is terror if not uncertainty? We made it our home, uncertainty. We settled there, built our homes, and set our hearths on her bones. This is what we came to know, what we came to understand. The fear of fear itself slowly became commonplace, on our doorsteps in the evening and under our pillows through the night, ever present. There is a strange comfort in familiarity, regardless of the bedfellow, she chuckles. I know you fear uncertainty, but that is because it remains other, alien to you, and will continue to seem so until you make it your bedfellow. Through choice or necessity, the outcome's the same. You learn its habits, its gates, and its preference. It no longer puzzles you, and so with the understanding you reach an impasse. You say to uncertainty, I'll allow you to stay if you commit to remain until the end. Agreed? Agreed. Entranced, your eyes flicker and your head lolls, yet you feel acutely attuned to her every word. You are ready, she says, placing her hand on the label and the ladle to one side. Bustling about, she gathers powders and potions. She busies herself with a mortar and pestle. Ask, a statement of command. Speak to me of magic, you request. Magic is not spoken, it is felt. I can only harness the energy of magic in certain words strung together, lyrical to your ear but alchemical to your soul. To listen with your ear is a frivolous dalliance. To listen with your soul is to seek to understand. You must choose. Choose now and choose wisely, for you will not be given the chance again. To speak of magic is to miss the point. She cackles, and in her laughter is not madness as you suspected, but paradox. Her laughter bubbles despite its shrill tone. In it, you hear polarity. You are beginning to understand. Magic is to listen, she continues. A clap of thunder breaks the silence. Again she cackles. You hear the perfection of the moment. You feel the connection of all things. You are beginning to understand. Speak to me of the moon, you request. The moon holds our divine rhythm. She knows the agreements we made before we came here. She has seen you many times before. She knows you more deeply than anything alive. She reminds you of your deepest nature. Her wisdom is not piercing, overbearing, and hot like the sun. It's male energy, urgent and demanding. She reminds with a whisper, her own changing nature reflecting your many incarnations. What's within is without. Her changing form is also your form. Moonlight gently falls on her face and she turns her gaze skyward. Transformed, she is instantly beautiful, youthful. A trick of the light? No. You are beginning to understand. Speak to me of illusion, you request. The witch clicks her fingers loudly, sharply in your face. You snap to attention. You were caught in an illusion just now. I untangled you, she explained. An illusion is a soul snag. You are caught somewhere else in time. Just now you were caught, tangled in the pleasure of understanding. I released you, but you will not always be so lucky. Left to your own devices, you'll snag again. And having no one to guide you, you will sever yourself. Anything you perceive from that moment on is an illusion, for you cannot perceive the whole while you are not whole yourself to perceive it. She waves a pointed finger in dramatic loops. You marvel at the illusion of her finger drawing a complete circle in the moonlight. You must gather yourself as I have. She nods in acknowledgement of the cauldron. There you begin to distill your essence. Speak to me of circumstance, you request. You will always find yourself in your own circumstance, reflecting to you what is in you, drawing to you your own self. You must not fear yourself, for you are inherently magical. You fear your own power, for you choose to remain under the spell of your own illusion. You fear to wield your power because you are ill-equipped, not yet reclaimed to yourself. You will continue to fear yourself until you are free from your own illusion. Collect your pieces, meet yourself. You must, it is why you're here, she exhales. Speak to me of balance, you request. Oh, you and your duality, why do you focus on the weight in the scales? Taking a little, adding a little more, giving no heed to the apparatus itself or the stool point between the arms. You cannot access balance while you insist on measuring, weighing, and adjusting the scales. Focus on the center. Allow it to come to balance without your meddling. The witch rises and blows the powder she has been grinding on the blackened fireplace. It bursts to life with flames that throw long shadows across the room. Magic, you whisper. Oh, you are too fanciful, too naive, too easily led. That was ground orange peel. The oils are highly flammable. You constantly seek magic, knowing it only as an anomaly, a phenomenon, a miracle. The truth, it's commonplace, it's everywhere, and it's always in disguise. She holds up an orange peel in demonstration. Magic does not announce its appearance. It exists for its own entertainment. Whether you regard it or disregard it is irrelevant to its own delight in itself. You must understand this about magic. It's a trickster, a force, as creative as it is destructive, ever moving, as elusive as it is ever present. Paradoxical in nature, in the same way you experience yourself, magic experiences itself. You are forever bound, for your very nature is magic. You are imagined by the same mind, fashioned by the same hand. You were breathed into existence by the same mouth, you and magic. You believe me to be a magical being, a creature from another time-place, but it remains true that in fact, I am more steeped in reality, more connected to this very moment than humanity has been for centuries. It was lost to you back then, but the witch's time has come. She has been warming her hands by the fire. The witch stands. She seems taller than before. Perhaps it is her elongated shadow, giving her the illusion of height. Nevertheless, her figure is imposing. Her silhouette invigorates you. You are beginning to understand.